Joining us now, spokesperson to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Tal Heinrich. Tal, thanks for being with us today to talk about the latest. Let me go to this. The Prime Minister was on the Lebanon border this weekend, and he had extremely strong words for Hezbollah. Basically, if you try anything, you will pay a heavy price. Is Israel ready if Hezbollah attacks the way Netanyahu warned them not to?
Certainly, Brian, certainly. Israel is ready to act on every front if we are needed to defend ourselves. So we will not compromise the security of our people. The Prime Minister has been very precise. And also, by the way, President Biden said just the same when he was here. He sent out a message to all of our adversaries, not just Hamas, in the region, all of Iran's proxies, when he said, don't test us, don't try Israel, because if we are needed to, we will respond, and we will respond decisively. Now, we certainly hope that the Northern Front would not develop into an all-out war with Hezbollah. But if it happens, we will win. Brian, we fought on combined front in the past, and we won. Hezbollah knows that. And, it will be very, very unfortunate for the poor people of Lebanon who have suffered so much in recent years if that does happen. Hezbollah doesn't care about the people of Lebanon, but Israel will regard Lebanon as a sovereign nation as responsible to any threat against our territory emanating from theirs.
Tal, there's a lot of speculation about why the ground invasion has been delayed. There are multiple reasons. One of them, and one of the possibilities being floated, is that President Biden is trying to get Israel to walk back going into Gaza. Can you respond to that?
So I cannot go into detail and talk about military operational activity and strategy moving ahead. These are the kind of discussions that are being held right now by our government and military brass, but we are also talking to international counterparts. As you know, there are foreign nationals involved being held in captivity in Gaza. Some of them are Israelis with dual citizenship and so on. We are a sovereign nation. We will make the decision of when to begin stage 2 or stage 3 of this operation against Hamas to destroy this terrorist organization. But when we do, it will be the right time and under the right conditions.
Tal, one of the things that's been discussed with Gaza is the hostage situation there. Latest count shows 222. But, we just listened to Mike Tobin's report. He's been on the ground there for us. And it was frankly shocking sitting here and hearing all of those accounts of what had happened on October 7th in detail to individual people. How can we have confidence that those 222 are alive and well? As much as you can share would be appreciated.
We hope that they're alive and well, and we warn these terrorists, do not hurt them, because we are coming after you, and we will get to you one after the other. We are also calling on the international community to back Israel's demands that the Red Cross will pay them a visit to examine their condition. We want to see our sons and daughters, our elderly, back here in Israel, and we will get them. We want to see all hostages back, and we're calling on Hamas to unconditionally and immediately release them. And let us not be mistaken. Hamas did release 2 hostages over the weekend, the two American women, a mother and a daughter, but they did not change overnight. They are not a humanitarian human rights group or anything of this kind. These are barbarian savages who butchered our people, who cut off limbs and body parts of children in front of their parents and took out eyeballs of parents in front of their children. I'm sorry about, for delivering this very graphic description. And I know that Mike Tobin, he just did it at the top of the segment, but it is very important that people understand. I know it's very, very difficult for Western minds to digest what really transpired here, but it's important that the world knows what Israel's fighting.
Tal Heinrich, thank you so much for being here today.